Oh.
Yeah.
People like someone else like.
So it's gonna be the intros and you over the intro.
You good? The intro and introduce everyone.
Who's doing the intro?
Me.
Nah, let that guy do it. You get a better shot doing that.
Aye. Welcome, people. Oh, shit.
Take your time. Do your thing.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to our very first episode. We would like to call you our lovely audience. You're gonna learn about this lovely show we call shit. I'm fucking it up.
Try again.
Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the very first episode of The Bench Talk, presented by us, the VR. With me, your lovely Michael Juice, your friend over there, Bakang, with the ever so genius Bohlale, and our friend, man, our dog, Lux.
What up?
Right here we have our guests, the lovely poet, the wordsmith, the goat, the great Holo.
Hi. I go by the name of Umokolo During. I'm a poet, and it's very lovely for you guys to have me here, hey?
Welcome. We have our pro. He's an artist, calls himself pro. Ask him why, he'll tell you.
I go by the name of Produce, so pro is actually just cut off from profound, so it's profound dedication enhances uniqueness, confuses everyone else.
That's intro.
That's just what I go by, so yeah.
A lady.
We have Gugu here, an absolute beautiful person, has a nice hand with her there. She's a makeup artist. Can you give us insight, Nyana?
Hi everyone, my name is Gugu. My art is not as specialized as everyone is.
Everyone
You know,
is.
but
Wow,
psychology
darling.
could be an art.
Everyone
You know?
is special.
Art of the mind.
Yeah.
And I do makeup on the side just to de-stress, but I'm really interested in people's emotions and understanding why people behave the way we do.
And that's why you're here. So guys, to kickstart the whole show, how do you feel about being here?
I'm excited.
Excited.
I want to know how everybody's perspective is and just learning about people.
Open-minded.
Yeah.
So I'm pretty sure you all have heard about Ogeshes through us before, but for those who may want an insight from the outsiders, what would you tell them about OgeshesHouse?
From my understanding, OgeshesHouse is an upcoming big thing. That's just one way to
Manifestation.
everything. Yeah.
All right. What about you guys? What's your point of view?
Yeah, damn, what she said is right. It's just gonna be big, dog. Like it's just going big. I've seen the guy, his vision is really big, and I can see it happening.
Yeah.
So
Appreciate it.
Yeah, most definitely. Yeah.
And you, Google, your input?
I think it's a powerhouse. You know, you guys are very dedicated. You have a plan, you have structure, so there's no way you wouldn't succeed with that.
I love how she said there's structure in it. It's the most important part because you can't build a house without a structure.
Yeah, most
Hence the
definitely.
Ogeshes's house.
Yeah. It's rigid.
Cool. All right. So what we are going to do is, since today's theme is about empowering, but through empowerment there's love, passion, and creativity. Right. So with that said, what to just give you guys a proper insight. So OgeshesHouse Media Hub, right? It's a entity for all creators. As we've mentioned in the intro, we have our makeup artist who's doing psychology. We have a producer and the man in front of the mic, of course. And we have a lovely poet, of course, accompanied by many others, producers, rappers, singers, vocalists, dancers, the works. Even the people behind the camera, of course, are just as essential. So, guys, you love your crafts, right? So, heading into when you create, what would you say is the most crucial factor to enable you guys to create the way you do?
Basically, the mute. If we put in better perspective, the mute of why you are diving into whatever it is that you're diving into. Your craft.
Okay. Would you like to go first?
No, you can go.
You go first.
I'm cool. So me, literally, my craft is about me, how I'm feeling at that moment.
Yeah.
You know, like maybe let's say I'm having a bad day, and I just want to de-stress.
Yeah.
So I'd go in like literally into my mind and like, okay, now I want to de-stress. How can I de-stress this? So it's just me expressing myself through the music, however I'd be feeling that day.
Also, basically, you can say that music and producing is basically like your outlets per se.
Yeah.
Exactly, just like that. Yeah.
And also adding on to what he said, I know I'm part of the show and I'm a host. He's right, because with the art or the work that I'm trying to do, it's an outlet, more of an escape to, you know, when I read or write or make music, or for example, it's my way of like manifesting my inner self outward, you know what I'm saying? And when I put it on paper, I can understand myself better. I can learn myself internally and like get to understand the kind of person that I am, and like use that as a motivator to like drive myself, to like fuel the love that I have for that craft, and so forth and so forth.
And just to add on that as well, when you put your creativity on paper or anywhere, we as people as well get to understand what kind of a person that you are.
Exactly.
The kind of energy that you're projecting into the world is going to be reciprocated to you the same way that you did.
Yeah, the art reflects the person.
Yeah.
And also just to add on, like, you know, me, when I'm doing people, like, I don't really talk a lot.
Yeah.
So that is me just crying out late, like, yo,
This is who I am.
this is who I am. Because like it's very hard to express yourself like when it's people like that, because most folk, they're not going to focus on you or whatever, you know. But then when you are there in the music, that's when you're centered and everyone you're on the spotlight, you know. So
Yeah, to add on that one, I released a song last week, and this other guy was like to me, you know what? I finally understand who you are as a person through your music. I can understand how like throughout the years you felt the pain and everything else. I can relate to you because you're talking through your record. And I was like, yeah, that's true what he's saying.
Maybe also not avoid this fact or neglect the fact that art does not necessarily only mean what you go through. For in case I write poetry, not because of the things that I go through only, but because of the things I see outside.
Experiences.
You know, observing how this whole thing is going. Obviously, when I write this poem, I'm not going to say or point out a name and say this person is going through this. I will put myself in that, but it does not necessarily mean that I am going through that. Like, you get what I mean?
Yeah. And to add on top of that, it's the thing about art, right? Like art is like the most closest thing that we have to each other as humans, because it makes us to be relative to each other. You know what I mean? Because like we can put like our emotions and our experiences on top of our records, so that people can understand what type of people we are with experiences as well.
And sometimes it's so hard to articulate yourself, but with the art, like he says, you get to represent yourself wholeheartedly. You get what I'm saying? You get to like bring out your inner demon or your inner introvert out into the world. You get what I'm saying?
And removing the confusion of the role, because like when you go on your record, you're being yourself, you say. So people get to understand. They're not confused about who you are. They understand who you are in the record.
Yeah, during the conversation, you can't even articulate yourself
Thank you.
that well. But with the art,
Flows.
yeah.
What's your take on it?
My take on art. So I'm going to put it like this. I am a person who grew up around music, specifically a specific genre, house, right? So for me, it's been an experience of joy most of the time, positivity, and even though there will be times where I'm down, that is my go-to cheer up, or that is my kickstart. You know, that genre specifically is like daily bread to me. That's what even got me to push being a DJ at some point, and now also here I am a podcaster because I talk a lot, right? So yeah, like through art can be anything: articulation, putting yourself at ease, kickstarting your day, or just expressing. For example, I'm one person who was taught not just to learn from my own mistakes, but from others. So through other pieces as well, like your music, poetry, and even actual art, painting and whatnot, I'm able to learn how to incorporate those, and I take whatever that I feel valuable and just continue with my day of art.
Sure.
And it's one thing about art is that there's no label to it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like there's no label to it. Art can be like whatever he said. Art can be whatever it is that you express yourself through.
Yeah.
Whether it's painting, whether it's recording, singing, whatever. There's no label to it.
Yeah.
And that's what makes it beautiful. That's what makes it colorful. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Because I mean, if you would take architects, that also like in their own way, that's art. To even actually just build that, it's art, and he also loves that thing. To doing that, maybe that brings ease to him, his mind wave, whatever.
I don't know whose quote is this. Just to add on what he said. He said something around the lines of passion will ever bleed through art. You know what I mean? So it hit me so much because like everything that we do, everything that you do, you express yourself through art. So that forever part means that will forever be who you are in your record. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Isn't it?
Yeah.
It's pure.
It is.
It is.
So
It is.
I got a question. Are you guys gonna show us your talent?
100%.
Yeah.
Of course. I mean, here we are.
Apparently our talent is to talk, so you already, you already feel it already. We are there, we're showing you us. So I would love to see your art as a makeup artist. I'd love to see you put your idea of making someone's inner beauty just pop onto it. I want to see that.
And the mascara.
And then there's this poet, my guy, my mother, she's into poetry. She's done a few poems, and most of the time it's in Vernac. I'll have to go and ask her after that, what did you say? I had to watch you, couldn't hear you.
Yeah.
And then she's gonna nag me about not being supportive. Long story short is the Vernac. I'd love to hear. I heard you can do it in Vernac.
Yeah.
You is it what you do? Or
I write it any language I know.
And you know what's crazy about Vernac is that you see how like you had to go and ask your mother for like to understand it.
Yeah.
It's what makes it much more mysterious and much more interesting. You know what I mean? Because you don't get like you have to dive deep into it to understand it, and then just like off the paper and just like understand it. You have to go deeper on a deeper level. That's what makes art or poetry much more attractive per se. Because with it, there's a mixture of intelligence and a sense of emotional maturity and understanding. You know what I mean? So yeah, I just want to touch on that one so we don't, you know.
There's a conversation I once had with a friend of mine that artists are people pleasers. I heard her side.
Yeah.
This is why. I asked her why, and she was like, especially artists that do their art for people, clothes. Like, I don't know. If a customer says or people out there says, we don't like this, they entirely change it. You know? So I told her that in as much as an artist is a people pleaser, understand that you're a person yourself. So please yourself before you can actually please anyone. And we are humans for a reason. We don't have the same taste. So yes, I will have something to say against your art. But what do you have to say for it too? You understand what I mean?
Yeah, because like if your art is more about pleasing people, it defeats the purpose of you diving into that art that you're into. Because now, if you make something much more of a job or a work, the less boring it gets to you. So now you're putting the passion out of the equation. Now it's work, and nobody loves to do work. You know what I mean? So yeah, I get that.
And when you start with yourself, there's like a certain level of comfort and truth telling that comes with that. You get what I'm saying? When you're like comfortable with yourself at that level, you get to express yourself truthfully. You're not just making art for the sake of making art. You're like real with yourself, and you're like comfortable, and you're just operating at an optimum level. You don't give a shit. Sorry for swearing. You don't care. You just wanna tell your truth because you're comfortable with it, and you're not afraid that other people will judge you for telling them that truth. You get what I'm saying? You just, unlike when you like talking about something that isn't you, right? There's like a certain kind of like imposter syndrome with that, where sometimes you're even afraid to put something out because you know it doesn't represent you. You get what I'm saying? And you're like, nah, I don't feel good about this. But really, it's just you not feeling good about you're lying to yourself in a way. You're lying to yourself, and you're telling yourself that this is what I'm currently feeling, and this is how I'm gonna put it out. But what you really need to do is return back to yourself, love yourself, so that you can be able to expose yourself to other people comfortably. It goes back to just being around people in general. You get what I'm saying? Just your aura. You know, people are attracted to that natural aura because it's you. You know, you're not trying to be someone else. You're not trying to like.
And then you don't constantly have to update it.
Exactly. You know,
it's that thing that we were talking about the other time. When we said that when you try and make like your passion to be something as a profit, it becomes much more of what you want it to be, and now you have to schedule your passion and everything around what people want you to.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's kind of like having to produce something, but you're producing it for the people to see it, and now you're not being your true self in your records and your art.
and I think there's like a deeper level of psychology there. I don't know if it's borderline personality disorder or what. If you will correct me if I'm wrong. Where when you are operating like that, right? There's like 9 personalities to you for each environment.
Exactly.
You get what I'm saying?
I mean, sometimes the personalities of like maybe an artist and let's say construction workers are not the same. You get so it's not always going to be like the same person you're going to be if like let's say you're doing your job just to be like, oh, I want that guy to be happy in this when I make him this, and oh, I want him to be happy when I make him this. But then like putting yourself out there, let's say someone says, okay, I want this gin, a blue type of feel to it, right? That's when you have to impersonate yourself in that part. Okay, and now you like, okay, I get what you say. You get the bigger picture, but then you put your taste into that. Like you're like, okay, this is me with your concept. I print out myself on that thing. You get what I'm saying?
That makes so much sense.
It's kind of like one of those Chinese dolls, you see. But like there's a layer of each and every outer layer. There's an outer layer, so you have to like pull out the layer up until you get to that small one. That's where like that's the real you right there.
The onion thing.
You know what I mean? Yeah. Because at the end of the day, you build walls around yourself and your art because you're trying to get to that point where like you want to be yourself, but you can't be yourself because society says the standard to be yourself is something else different than what you want to put out. You know what I mean? Right. So now you want to get to that point where like you are able to communicate your art and everything freely. So now you have to understand that when you do that, there are a lot of people that are going to go against you, basically society. You know what I mean? Saying that whatever it is that you're doing, we don't like it. We don't like it. We want something different. So now this is why I believe many artists like fall into deep depression. Because they are not themselves, and now they're forced to get to a certain to get to a standard where like you're not you. So now you're forced to cash out like content. You're not being you. So that's pressure. You know
and now it becomes a work field. It's no longer your safe space.
Thank you.
I'm done.
Oh, you're done. Alright, cool. Yeah, so let's take back to, I don't know if you guys have heard Aries the Confrontation, where J. Jody talks about like the pressure as being an artist and being in that artist being on a label, where like the people are like, okay, we want this albums has to be like this, and he says you have to literally lie to yourself. It's like, yo, okay, we have to do this, please these people. Because now you can't be yourself. Because the cameras are watching also. You know, you can't speak truth and all that. And it just, like, that song really just cut me deep and like, damn. But as an artist, being in this field is actually very hard.
It is. But again, it teaches us a somewhat confidence in ourselves. You know, I won't come to you and tell you you are this. You need to tell me, no, I'm not that, I'm this. Yeah.
But I also think that it's like that when you get to a certain level of notoriety or celebrity fame or whatever. There's some attachments that come along with you getting at that top. You know, there's certain expectations of you to get there, because now you are there, right? That's what I'm saying. Yeah. So I think at this point we have like touched on the most creative part of it, and I think everybody had their 2 cents in it. And it was so beautiful to understand.
Pure some layers.
You know what I mean? Like, it's beautiful to hear like art from a different perspective, to understand that your art is not the only art out there. You know what I mean? Everybody has their own form of art, and this is beautiful right here. Any last words?
Okay, but I actually love how we're getting to learn from them. You know, considering the fact that we're going to meet other people with their different. So, in closing, I would like what each of you to answer the question: what do you want to create in terms of having an impact in society and for yourself through your art? What is it that you're leaving for us to say, okay, this is our poet, her whole mantra is based around this, or how you get to say you identify me through that?
Expression.
Yeah. How do you?
Expression.
Yeah. So.
Alright, I'd say I focus like now, it's recently in self-improvement, in being comfortable in your own skin. So it's what like I've been writing about for the past year.
Okay.
Just me being comfortable in my skin and being who I am.
Okay.
So yeah, I just want people to be comfortable in their own skin and be like, I don't have to dress like someone just to feel happy or be like that person or have this and that. That's who I am, and that's who I'm putting out into the world.
I would say my thing is transformation. I think it's always important to remember that as an individual, you have so many layers and dimensions to you, even as an artist, because it's so easy to box yourself as like, okay, I'm a podcaster, but you don't tap into the other facets of who you could be. What about a podcaster and a businessman?
Okay.
So for me, trying to merge all these talents that I believe I've been given and like using them to inspire people, because maybe now I like makeup, but when I'm a mom, I might have a different type of art that I can manifest to my children. So it changes consistently. So I'd also just want to remind people that don't define yourself according to what you specialize in now, because it could always change, it could transform. So always be open-minded for that.
Dope. So in closing, because of time, I think we're gonna have to love and leave you guys. Thank you for coming on the show. It's been quite an experience, right? We tried our best to break the ice, and eventually at the end we got it right. And would love to thank you for that, right? Our first segment was a success because of you all. And anything my co-host would like to add?
Thank you so much for being with us and sharing this inspiring way of singing life. I think I'm gonna go ahead and say the biggest art here is me, like yourself. Be a walking, talking piece. Well, literally for me, because that's how I got this gig in the first place. So yeah, you know, be your art. And with you having said all of that, it's really gonna help me digest everything I do going forward, carrying myself. I'm gonna always put yourself first, be the first piece you fully understand.
Most definitely.
Thank you for that.
I would like to say that the message I would like to say in terms of art is basically growth. You know what I mean? In your arts, because like obviously from where you started is not the same as where you are now. So you have to like, it's a seed basically. You know what I mean? It's a mustard seed, and if you see how a mustard seed is so small, if you water it, it's gonna grow into the biggest tree ever. So basically, the message I'm trying to put out is grow in your art, however you want. So at your own pace as well. Just like that, love your art enough when you want, just like keep moving with it.
Dope.
You know?
Dope. Alright, and cut.
No goodbye niya and fan out. Just go with it.
Alright guys, thank you for being here with us. We'll see you in the other episode, which is coming real soon. Stay on your toes, stay on your toes. We'll see you soon, guys. Shout out.
And we out.
Hey, bro. Hey, was what you do that, bro. Hey, what you I see you.
Not too loud. What up, man?
Perfection. You've been fighting for your life for the past 15 minutes or so.
But he held down, dude. He held down.
Are y'all playing games already?
Nah.
But he held down, dude. That's the thing.
Take it out, boy. Take it out, boy.
Okay, cool.
You good?
I'm good.
So you know what I would like us to do, guys? What? Just to, you know, warm up Nyana. Maybe we can start a 30-second game or have a breather before that.
Definitely a breather, bro.
Okay, then we can step downstairs there and then we'll continue the second shot.
Is it still in video mode?
Yeah.
Yo. Let me tell you now. A D L. Show yourself. Show
the fuck?
Bro, show yourself.
How am I gonna show?
Bro, just flip the camera.
A.
Turn around, bro.
A.
You're not even seeing me.
D.
Can we
Bravo.
L.
Bravo.
L.
Oaks.
I think they're outside. Yeah, Divine's outside. Let me. Let's go downstairs.
Why are you zooming in so much?
Let's go downstairs.
This thing has a major.
Yeah, it's the lens. Take the bottle with. Take this bottle with.
I think I listen is a profile.
I'm asking if it's all part of one show. There's no need for outros.
Oh yeah,
right?
Because it's still continuing.
It's still continuing technically, so we can do.
Let's have a breather though.
Very good.
Let's have a breather though.
So y'all are done?
No, with the first.
Should I pause all?
Yeah, pause.
Y'all are taking a break on some